Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to our call today on this Thursday morning. Checking with you, how are you feeling today? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best.
10.
10, fantastic. Ishwari Radha is doing fantastically good. What about the others?
10. Happy Ekadashi.
Happy.
Happy Ekadashi Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Priyanka. Okay.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Happy Ekadashi to you.
Dandavat Pranam, Vachana Mataji. Happy Ekadashi to you too. Okay, so are we ready?
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Khyati Mataji. Okay, so I'm trying to go to Zoom over here and try to share things with you. And let's see. So Suyash Prabhu is there, so I don't have to worry about the reading order today. He's going to take care of it. And I'm going to start sharing the screen. Just let me know if you're able to see the Vigyapti Panchika prayers coming up on your screen here. Do you see them?
No, Mataji.
Not yet?
Just white.
It's coming up, Mataji, but it's probably slow. White screen is showing.
Oh, a white screen is showing up? Okay. Maybe it needs a little bit more of a boost here to say, all right, get going. And share. Yeah. Okay, I see the reason for that. Okay. Now, do you see Gyapti Panchika prayers?
No.
Not yet. Now?
Yeah, now yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
All right, fantastic. And I'd also like to welcome those of you who have joined us here on the Facebook. And let's see who all are there. I did see Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, Achyuta Radhe Mataji, Shraddha-devi Dasi, Sadhana Mataji, Vijayalakshmi Mataji, and Divyangi. Dandavat Pranams. And we will get going now here. So, here we go. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajame kim bhuve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skhalita padanam Bhumirevaavalambanam Tvai jata paradhanam Tvameva sharanam prabhu Govinda vallabhe radhe Prarthaye tvam aham sada Tvadiyam niti janatu Govindo mam tvaya saha Radhe vrindavanadhishe Karunamritvahini Kripaya nij padabja dasyam mahyam pradiyatam. Okay, and do we have the reading order ready?
Yes, Mataji. Sutapa Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Suyash, Garima Mataji, Nirul Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, Shraddha Mataji.
All righty. Okay. So let's get started with Sutapa.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the grounds of minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
Hare Krishna. Just as the ground is the sorry, mother. O Shrimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, O Shrimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, is it my turn?
Yes, Mataji.
Oh, thank you. O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Ishwari Radha sounded as if she was talking from Golok Vrindavan, isn't it? She sounded so far away. And then towards the end, she approached here. Okay. Tell us your reflections, please. Divyangi Mataji has beaten all of us here. She already has a reflection on Facebook. So let's see, what does she have to say? You alone are the only shelter for one who has offended you. She took the nice one.
Let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Okay.
Be kind to me and let me take a little service at your lotus feet. So be kind to me, Mataji. What I'm trying to say that externally we don't know how much we can do the service, but if but internally if we are surrendered to Lord, then He will take the essence of our attitude. So that is my prayer.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. And we know that lowest is the dull matter, above the matter are the senses, above the senses is the mind. So if you are controlling at that level, anything below that will automatically get controlled. Very nice.
Parihare.
Bhumo Khalit Pada Nam.
Yeah, go ahead. What does that mean?
Parihare api lajja me kim bhruve purushottama.
All right. And what does that mean?
That means that I'm ashamed, and how can I
Say anything? How can I say anything?
Yeah.
Explain my frame. Okay. All right. And let's see. And Achita Radhimati says, Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi chakaschana. And Vidyavati says, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Yeah. So.
Oh, Shrimati Radharani, you are the only shelter.
You are my only shelter. Okay. And Garima Mataji, what were you saying?
Mano me ram tam tvai.
Mano me
Let
ram
my mind
take pleasure in you alone. And what was the simile that they gave? What was the analogy that they gave there?
like young boys and girls have attraction.
So what happens due to this attraction?
Their mind take pleasure in them only.
They take pleasure in
Constantly
them.
thinking.
And what are the consequences?
Only interest is that the girl's interest is in boys and the boys' interest in only the girls. So
They're constantly
our
thinking
interest,
about.
yeah,
You
our
know,
interest should be in God only, Lord only.
isn't that nice? Isn't it nice to know, although that I have an instrument that can constantly think about an object, right? At least half of the problem is gone. If you want to go and achieve a particular object, a particular goal, you should have the right instruments to do that, right? So, for example, if I say that I want to be able to swim under the water all the time, then I need to have a body of a fish to be able to do that, right? Or be equipped with apparatus and gears all the time so that I can, in a human body, do that, right? But if I don't have that body at all, if I have a body of a vulture and I want to swim underneath the water, it's not possible. So at least here we have got a body and we have got a mind that can think about a particular object all the time. So that is a good news, that is in favor of us. And all that we have to do is to change the connection, right? Whatever your instrument is being attached to, you just change it, right? You change your focus. And once you change the topic, it's the mind engages. Vaisheshika Bhub says, change the topic or change the subject, change your, what happens when you change the subject? Change your life, right? Your life itself gets changed completely. Okay, who is next in order to read? I want that person to help us read this verse, which I'm sharing on the screen with you.
Mine, Mataji.
Oh, fantastic. Go ahead.
Mataji, can I ask you a simple thing? Means, if we think about a person continuously, like our parents or maybe the sister, brother, then what will happen? Means somehow if they are coming to our thoughts continuously, and we cannot avoid that, then what will happen?
Yes, so you have to be vigilant, you have to be constantly watchful of what are you thinking about, right? Are you thinking about that my sister constantly is calling to me with her problems, and then you are constantly thinking of how you're going to solve that problem? Then guess what, at the time of death, the thought that will come to my mind is like, who's going to solve her problems now, because I have been solving all of these, right? So if we constantly think of that, that danger is always there. That danger is always there. And I don't know from where I'm getting a reflection. I'm just going to mute all of you and then you can unmute yourself. Just give me a second here. Yeah, the noises distract me. Okay. Yeah. So going back to your thing on Prakritya Kriyamanani Guna Karmani Sarvasha Ahankara Vimudatma Karta Hamiti Manyate. So we think that we are the doers. We think that we are solving the problems, right? I'm giving advice to somebody and they are listening. But we also have to remember that we are only the instruments in Krishna's plan. If we give advice to somebody and somebody listens to it, it was part of Krishna's plan. And not that we are such smart people that everybody listens to us like that, right? Now the question that, the proposal that I had was that you have to be vigilant all the time. You have to be vigilant. You have to be thoughtful of the thoughts that you are having in your mind, right? And so what do I do? So every now and then you have to catch yourself thinking. And manomiram tam tvaiti. This verse is saying that I want to focus my attention on Krishna, just the way young boys and girls think about each other. That's how I want to think about you. But because I'm in a body and I was born in a family, so there are other people as well, and they will come and talk to me. Where else can they go? And things like that, right? So just watch yourself. And if you think that you're thinking too much and you catch yourself thinking too much, because this mind, manorathena sthit dhavato bahi, this mind can take you to many places, right? Many, many places. For example, somebody has a sister. The sister is going through a problematic situation. And then you just sit down. And then first you can start thinking, why is this happening to her? And then you can start thinking philosophically. And then you can sit on, okay, fine, let's do, maybe she needs to, get out of that situation. So now you start thinking about what and how can you get out of that situation. And then your mind can take you to the days after that situation has been resolved. And there are happy days after that. And then you can start planning on what you're going to do with the happy days. And if the sister is in a different country, you can even plan your trip on how you're going to visit them. And then you can say, no, now what's going to happen to my work over here? So there's no end to how much your mind can take you. You just have to plant a small seed, and it can expand itself. And, through thoughts and sub thoughts that come under that particular topic, and they're all connected to each other. So we can make it a practice. And again, it is abhyasa. For us, thinking about Krishna doesn't happen naturally. Actually, we don't want to think about Krishna. We are being forced to think about it. And through practice and through abhyas, I would rather, like sit in front of the television. Okay, let me just go and watch that one movie. Like that. Mind is always telling me that, right? And so I have to constantly practice. So observe what you're doing and say, okay, every time I catch myself sitting on the manorath, sitting on my the chariot in the air, every time I find myself doing that, I will sit down and chant a Hare Krishna mantra, because the mantra is powerful, mantra is potent. It will have its own effect on you. So thought substitution through practice, through suitable practice, right? And so that is why we highly encourage that wherever possible, whenever possible, Varshana, go to sleep early in the night so that you can get up early in the morning when it is nice and tranquil, just getting started with the day. Do your sadhana at that time of the day, so that already you are charging your mind with good thoughts. And so that any sub thoughts that come during the day, high chances they'll be linked to the thought that you started in the morning. But don't get overwhelmed and alarmed, and don't start blaming yourself if it doesn't happen to you. If during the day, you mundane thoughts start coming, also understand philosophically that it happens, because during the day the mode of passion kicks in. So the modes of material nature are also acting on me. So it's not an easy task for the jiva soul to be living inside this body. There's so many things that are there ready to disturb, including my own mind. What to talk about people from outside who come and disturb? But our biggest disturbances actually are from our mind, because even when everybody leaves us alone, our mind doesn't leave us alone like that, right? So it'll be a suitable practice, soft thought substitution throughout the day, being vigilant throughout the day. I remember, and Vidya Badhu will attest to that our mom used to actually scold us if we did things mechanically. Anything that she gave us to do, right? After sometimes you go on autopilot and you have started doing this without thinking, you put it there. And she was always like, whatever you're doing, don't do it mechanically. You think about it first, everything that you're doing, and then do it, right? Because doing things mechanically means you are sitting on that chariot and allowing somebody else to do it for you, likely the modes of material nature, and you just get carried away by that, like that. Does that help you, Sutapa?
Yes, Mataji, that was very nice explanation. Thank you so much.
There you go. Yeah, be kind to yourself.
Yes, Mataji, it was very nice. And actually, I do that throughout the day, that I put an alarm for every half an hour, because I sometimes get carried away by, like, when I'm cleaning the house, it's never ending. So I put an alarm to just rethink that what I'm doing is, should I be doing that, or now I will add this, that catch your attention also, like where my mind is. I'm going to do that. Thank you so much.
Very good. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic practice that you're doing, right? Every now and then. And so for those who are second initiated, they are supposed to, at the 3 sandhyas, the 3 times in the day when the 2 times meet, they're supposed to drop everything that they're doing and chant the Gayatri mantras. And the reason for that is that you get sucked up into material things. And so we do it 3 times a day, and you're doing it like, I don't know, 12 times a day, like that, for every half an hour. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. And this is how. So practice, abhyasa yogena. So while you practice, after some time, she won't need the alarm. It'll become her practice to check yourself every half an hour. Yeah. Thank you so much, Priyanka Mataji, for sharing that. Yeah.
Very nice, Priyanka Mataji. Very thoughtful, very nice.
Varshana, get your alarm. Where is your alarm? Set one for 10 o'clock in the night, because that's the time you should go to sleep. Yeah, you're not sleeping nicely lately. I see that. Yeah. Okay. So let's just see. Look at this word. So we were talking about attraction between male and female, right? And I'm asking what happens when there is attraction over there. So let's look at this. And so Suyash Prabhu was going to recite these words, right? Suyash Prabhu?
पुंसः स्त्रिया मिथुनी भावम एताम तयोर्मिथो हृदया ग्रंथिम आहु अतो गृहक्षेत्र सुतापवितैर जनस्य मोहोयम अहम ममेति.
Okay. Who's going to give us the synonyms?
Pumsa of a male, Striya of a female, Mithun Bhavan, attraction for sexual life, Etam, this, Tayo of both of them, Mitha, between one another, Hridaya Granthim, the knot of the hearts, Ahu, they call, Athaha, thereafter, Graha, by whom, Kshetra, field, Suta, children, Apta, relatives, Vitahi, and by wealth, Gyanasya, of the living beings, Moha, illusion, Ayam, this, Aham, I, Mama, mine, Iti, thus.
Okay. Neeral Prabhu?
The attractions between male and female is the basic principle of material's existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life. I thinks in terms of I and mine.
Okay. Purport?
Sex serves as a natural attraction between man and woman. And when they are married, their relationship becomes more involved. Due to the entangling between man and woman, there is a sense of illusion whereby one thinks this man is my husband or this woman is my wife. This is called Hridaya Granthi, the heart knot in the heart. And this knot is very difficult to undo, even though a man and woman separate either for the principles of Varnashrama or simply to get divorce. In any case, the man always thinks of a woman and the woman always thinks of a man. Thus, a person becomes materially attached to family, property, children, and although all of these are temporary, the possessor unfortunately identifies with his properties and wealth, and sometimes even after renunciation, one becomes attached to the temple or to the few things that constitutes the property of sannyasi, which such attachment is not as strong as family attachment. The attached to the family is the strongest illusion. In the Satya Samhita, it is stated, Mataji, you can read now.
Okay. Brahmadya yajna valkadya muchyante sri sahayinaha bodhayante kechane tesham vishesham cha vido viduhu.
Sometimes it is found among exalted personalities like Lord Brahma that the wife and children are not cause of bondage. On the contrary, the wife actually helps father's spiritual life and liberation. Nonetheless, most people are bound by the knots of the material relationship and consequently they forget their relationship with Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. So what do you think?
Yes, Mataji, this is so
Very-
true that this attachment to the family is the strongest. Yeah, I feel that is my one, that is my main reason for not making advancement.
Well, the thought that one has identified the problem itself is an advancement, right? And so when we talk about attachment to the family and being detached from the family, it doesn't mean that we have to walk out of the family, open the door and then check into a hotel and withdraw half the money from the spouse's bank and say, okay, I'm on my own now. No. Attachment basically, when you are in a family life and you're a grihastha ashram, you will stay there, you'll do your duty, right? Without the sense of possession. This is my husband, these are my children, right? You will look at them as individual souls who are on their own spiritual journey, right? And you see how Prabhupada is saying that this relationship is very entangling. You get very entangled. How does a man get entangled with a wife? Can you tell me the extent of entanglement that can happen?
Because after marriage, there will be the house, the children, and one after another. So it's like octopus. And it's not from the men side, Mataji, it's from the women's side also the same thing. If we get married, and then the same thing is happening with women also. So I like this, I think this way. Means the expansion of everything, the material property and every material things.
Okay.
I
So
think
let's look. Yeah, go ahead, Kathy.
that is our bodily conception, right? Because we think we are the body, we think other people is body, and then we get attracted to the body, and the desire starts. And if the desires are not fulfilled, then the anger arises. In first attachment, then anger, and then what is described in Bhagavad-gita, right, in second chapter. So
Right.
everything starts with like the bodily conception.
Yes. So
Mataji,
I was listening somewhere that when Lord Ram attacks Ravan, so he hits him in the navel, right? And navel is the cord where all the material, the body conception starts, right? How we take birth. So he cuts that bodily attachment and then Ravan dies.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Varshana, were you saying something?
Yeah, Mataji, this husband and wife relationship is so entangled that even if you want to, separate it, like say you are a different identity and I am a different identity, still, there are too many things which are to be done together. And it's very difficult to Mataji to separate, think that he is a soul, I'm a soul. Actually, we are on the plane of thinking that he is a body, I'm a body. And whatever one says, the woman says or the man says, both of them have got a different way of thinking. Their thought process is different. There are two different identities. So, Mataji, it is very difficult to, get out of this unless one is very on the higher plan.
So who else talked about in the Bhagavad-gita? Who else said that things are very difficult? Any verse comes to your mind in Bhagavad-gita?
Controlling the mind.
Yes, controlling the mind is very difficult. And what did Krishna say?
It's easier to control compared to the mind. Yeah.
Wind.
Yeah, that is something which Arjuna said.
Abhyasa yoga yuktenam, Mataji?
Yes, you have to. He didn't say exactly that, but
detachment.
That's a different. He said that. No, I'm telling Ishwari that the verse is from a different chapter, but here he said the concept is still the same. Ishwari, what you're hitting at. He said practice, suitable practice. You'll be able to do that. So it's all a matter of practice. Yeah.
We have read in chapter 6 that you have to like the rein in horses. So like that we have to control the mind.
Yes.
That's what I remember.
Right. Yeah. It's like a wild horse. You're trying to tame the wild horse. right? So if you start with the premise that it is very difficult and I can't do it, guess what? You will never be able to do it, right? If on the other hand, you say, oh, why? Let me see who else had this difficulty. Did somebody else also have the difficulty? What did Krishna say about that, right? So you have to arm yourself with positive knowledge and positive thoughts and say, yes. I mean, do you think there are people who don't do it? Do you think there are wife and husband who live and they are really treating each other as souls and as devotees and not as my wife, my husband? Does any couple's name come to your mind?
Vashistha Prabhu and Guru Ma.
There you go. There you go. And actually, I'm forgetting the name of the Mataji, but it was a Prabhupada disciple. And so she and her husband both are Prabhupada disciples. And so she was talking about that how as they progressed in life, her relationship with her husband changed. And so her husband was giving a lecture somewhere, and the husband said that, yeah, I look at my wife as a devotee. And then she said that, if my husband had said that 20 years ago, that he just thinks that I'm a devotee and Krishna is the center of his life, I would have just, thrown tantrums and said, how come I am not the center of your life? Because this is how entangling it gets, right? So you are a brahmachari, you have been leading your life, getting up in the morning, going to Mangal Aarti, not worried about where to get the food, where to get the clothes, somebody's taking care of you, probably the temple or some, people from the congregation, and then you get married. And then the wife comes and says, no, I am the center of your life. So I want you to do this now. You can't turn around and say, I'm chanting. No. So the entanglement starts from there. And as Sutapa Mataji was talking about, then there are kids and you want to buy the house. But, even before that, even before there are kids and even before there is a house, right? Even before that, just by the process of getting married, there are many more people who come into your life, don't they? Right?
It's like a branches of the trees.
Yes. Yeah, it's like the arms of the octopus that you said, right? Because you get married, don't get married to one person, right? Because that person brings the whole
Family and friends.
right.
Now Sutapa Mataji is talking about like 15 chapter, the trees.
Yes, but she's right. This is what it is. And this is the things that we should deliberate early in the morning. This is what we should think about. The reality of life has to be thought about. So it gets entangling because you get the in-laws, right? So now you have a wife, and then there's the wife's sister, and of course the wife's brother. And the wife's brother doesn't work. And the wife's brother needs a job. And now it is your duty to find a job for him. So forget about children coming and you have to think about the children. The problem starts even sooner than that. So it's very, very entangling. And ahamameti. That's what, we are thinking that, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And that's where all the problem starts. Like that, And then the wife will do something wrong and she did wrong, but you have to defend, right? And then, you didn't do something and she got angry, then, there are consequences of that, right? Now you have to go buy a gift. Now you have to go outside. Now spend money. Now money is draining out. So you have to work harder to make more money, right? Like that. So yeah, it is very, very entangling. Very, very entangling. So, but what the positive thing that is coming out of this is that, well, how about getting entangled in Krishna consciousness? How about getting entangled in Krishna, right? We feel our lives are so entangled, right? In the morning, you see how much entangled we are with Krishna. You have to get up in the morning. First thing, you're like, I have to get up. Okay, 6:30 is happening. I have to go there, start, attend the call. Suyash is thinking, I have to make the reading order, very much entangled in Krishna. So we have a tendency to get entangled. We have a tendency, and we have the capability of thinking undeviatingly about objects. So why don't we just change the subject and change our lives like that? So see that, let that be the thing for you today, that be observant of what you are. If you want to set an alarm, let the alarm ring every half an hour, right? We have got all these devices that let you set alarms like that. And just watch and see what's happening. And yeah, you will notice, you'll be surprised at what can happen to you there. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, since the time I have joined Krishna consciousness, this last 7 years, I won't say 7 years, but since last 3-4 years, my entanglement in Krishna consciousness is more than the family.
Very good. Yes, and
Yes,
it's
I
not easy.
feel that.
Yeah, and it's not easy, but you know,
It is not easy. It's all the time keep on giving some alarm, and but you have to bear it. I mean, there is.
yeah, yes, yes. And one of the things also keep in mind is that it's not just that you have problems with when you're doing devotional service, that problems come, right? Do you think that the atheists don't have any problems in life?
Yes, Mataji, problems will always be there.
Yes.
In
Yes.
every step of life, we have a problem.
Yes.
And problems are there. Since they are there, they will go by themselves. And one thing you told me the other day in the lecture, and as it is, I do not talk much at home. I'm a very quiet person at home. So, Mataji, that helps me, but it may irritate others. कि ये हमेशा चुप ही रहती है, बात ही नहीं करती है. So that is also a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. My mother used to, I mean, like, you know, we used to talk nonsense all the time, all of our kids together. And mom will be there and she would be sitting there in her own world. She would be meditating and not participate in our conversation. And I used to get very irritated. And I used to just say that, where have you gone? Where have you gone, mom? Come here, come here. This is the interesting thing. I used to think like that, right? But then when I myself, decades later, came into Krishna consciousness, I've just admired the fact that she was able to just, you know, sit there. Okay, kids want you to sit there. I'm sitting there. But then that's about it. You can't control my mind. I decide where I'm going to put my mind. And so sometimes the admiration will come and the realization, others will get the realization much, much later in their lives.
Motherji, one day, very innocently, my grandson said, he went and told in the school to the teacher that my nani, she talks to the God every day. I was chanting, so he thinks that I am talking. That left a big impression on me, that he thinks then I must talk to the Lord. And while chanting, I must talk to the Lord. You see, that way. It should be that way. So that he taught me a lesson.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
He was just 5 years old then, and he went and told the teacher in the school.
Yes. So again, a part of the exercise is to catch ourselves, you know, so who do we talk to the most?
Mataji, to Krishna. Most of the time we are chanting or reading.
Okay, let's see. Let's go down a little deeper. So when we are sitting and chanting, who are we talking to?
To ourselves most of the time.
To ourselves, yeah, Mataji.
Exactly right. To ourselves. Even when we are sitting and chanting, the grandson might think that I'm talking to Krishna, but I'm actually talking to
Yes. My own mind comes and troubles Mataji in between.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. So mind is the thing, right? Mind is the thing, and then yeah.
And Mataji, we are like most of the time thinking either about past or future, right? Me and my Prabhu was playing this game. You don't talk about past or you don't talk about future. There's nothing to talk.
Yeah, because by the time you start talking about the present, it has become past.
Yeah.
Goes out of it. I really like the games that you two play, actually. Yeah.
And then if you remove I from it, then there's like absolute silence. Or you pray to Krishna. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's nice, Khyati Mataji. I'm going to try that too.
Okay, so talking about the present moment, we have Vidyavadhu Mataji who said practice and detachment. Yeah. Then Vijay Lakshmi Mataji says that difficult to escape from responsibilities. Yes. And Arjuna was trying to escape from responsibilities. He said, I don't want to fight, right? Few verses ago. And Krishna is dragging him and he's going to drag him and make him do his duty. Krishna didn't say that don't do your duty. Even in the subsequent chapters, Tasmat sarveshu kalesu mam anusmara yuddhacha. So always think about Krishna and then do your duty, which for Arjuna was to fight the war, right? But for us, we have different kinds of wars that we have. And so we need to do that duty as well. Yeah, and welcome Sashi Bhushan Prabhu. Thank you for joining the call here. And Bhakta Rohit is also there. Vibhu Mataji is there. Okay. And let me see. Vibhu Sharma, not Mataji. I know another Vibhu. Couldn't see you. Sorry, Prabhu. And Pramod Kumar Prabhu is also joining us. Namazya Mataji, welcome. Yeah, please do share your reflections here. And yeah, Khyati, keep on coming. Keep the games coming here. We enjoy them.
Yeah, that was Mataji from, I think, that chapter where Krishna says that, I think, demonic quality, 16th or 17th chapter, where we plan, right? That, yeah,
so much I
16th.
have. Yeah.
So that thought came from there.
So much I have. So much I have set aside. This is my enemy. I have killed him. More enemies will come. I will
making plan for the future, right?
Yeah, like that. Okay, so let's go and have a quick look at that prayer, that the second prayer that we have. And whose turn is it to read?
It's mine, Mataji.
Okay, go ahead.
Sakridev prapanno yastavasmiti ch yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadamyetad vratam mama.
Very nice. And have you memorized it? It looks like, huh?
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, very good. So now what are the thoughts?
Mataji, can we go over synonyms and translation?
Okay, please. Whose turn is it?
Varsha Mataji, I think.
Yes, Mataji. Sakrit, once only. Eva, certainly. Prapanna, surrendered. Ya, anyone who. Tava, tava, yours. Asmi, I am. Iti, thus. Cha, also. Yachate, praise. Abhayam, fearlessness. Sarvada, always. Tasmai, unto him. Dadami, I give. Etat, this. Vratam, vow. Mama, my. Hare Krishna.
Yes, very nice improvement. Yeah.
Mataji, did I pronounce the words correctly?
Yes.
Now?
Yes, you did. Yes, I could see that you were paying attention. Yeah, where attention goes, energy flows. Okay, translation. Who comes after Varshana?
Translation. It is my vow that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, My dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on.
Hari Bol. Thoughts, reflections on that?
Mataji,
Yes,
it
Mataji.
surrenders only once. Like we do so many things so many times, but still we don't get results all the time. But here the Lord is talking about only once, ek bar. So that word is coming to my mind every time.
Yeah. Just do it once. Yeah.
I really like the word you see, he gives. Apart from Sutapa, what she said is absolutely right. And that he gives the courage. So that also makes you feel the life comes in your body. You see, when you feel that God is going to give you the courage, don't be depressed or don't feel low or something like that.
Yeah. So whenever we embark on a big project, right? Suppose we are going to start a project. What are some of the assets that you think you will have, that you need to perform a project in life? Take any project.
Dedication.
You need dedication. Okay.
And money.
You need money.
First, you need to set a goal, means where you want to go.
Okay.
And then you can start the project.
Okay. So you have a well-defined goal.
First, you need introspection. That do we really need this thing or not?
All right. So you need some intelligence.
There will be loss and gain both. So we have to be consider that also.
Okay, so consider the loss and the gains. Okay, so deliberate. Okay. So who is deliberating?
Our mind.
Right. So you need people, you need a body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So you need some money, you need some body, hopefully a healthy body, right? To do that project. Okay. Now remove the body and remove the money. What's going to happen to the project?
Nothing.
It's not required anymore.
The project cannot be done, right? Can the project be done?
No.
Okay.
So there will be no project, Mother.
Okay, now take a old body and remove all the money, put the body in a ship, send the body to America.
No, Mataji, even that it will be difficult. Only Prabhupada can do it, Mataji.
There you go. Now, Varshana, today, you are absolutely forbidden from using the word "it is difficult." Prabhupada always uses, there's a book called "What's the Difficulty?" That's the favorite thing of Prabhupada used to say, where's the difficulty? Right? Prabhupada did it, right? So although we might think that these are assets which are required for a project, right? That you need a body, you need the money. Look at Prabhupada, he had neither of the two, right? Not a healthy young body. He didn't have the money either, right? But still he did. So what did he have?
Enthusiasm.
He had the knowledge, Mataji, and his Guru Maharaj's mercy on him and Krishna's mercy on him.
Okay, work with me, team. Look at the verse we are talking about just now. Now tell me.
Surrender to Guru and Krishna.
What did he have?
Courage.
Courage. Exactly, he had the courage. So you see, the courage. If you do the right kind of surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will give you this kind of a courage. Can you imagine what it means to be in a water where there's nothing but water all around you, and you are in some ship? Anytime anything can happen and it can drown, and people won't even know about it, likely, where the body went. You're going to a place where people don't even understand your language. You have no money, no address to go to, and your body health is failing. You're getting heart attacks. But the faith is there, the courage, because there is courage. Krishna gave him that courage. Can we do that? Can we jump in our car and say, okay, I'm going to drive 500 miles to distribute a book? I don't know who those people are. I don't know what that place is. I don't know I have enough money for gas. Do we do that? No. But Prabhupada did it, which means it is doable. Right? So for taking steps, a lot of courage is required, and it's proportional to the amount of surrender we give. I had a friend, and she used to have she had a child which had some he had a child who had some challenges in life. She was a small kid. So this small kid used to have very angry. She used to have strong bouts of anger. And when this child would be angry, it was very difficult because she could even go and try to throttle the other sibling, just from anger, like that. And so it was a challenge for the parents also to bring up a child like that, which has got the challenge. So they were also learning how to deal with her. And so sometimes they're human beings, they would fail and they would scold the child, and which only led to disasters. And the child would also become more defiant and then go and do something even worse and then get more scolded. So it was very entangling, and it would keep on going on and on. And then one day again, this girl did something. And after doing something, the mother looked at her. So this was in a kitchen that was happening. So they had that small round breakfast table. And she said, after doing something so wrong, she was about to blast her child for what she did. And then she said that I saw the girl, my daughter, she just went and she sat on the table, completely put her head down on the table, completely surrendered, no argument, no nothing. And she said, when I saw my daughter in that position, I realized that there is nothing I can do. There's nothing, there's no amount of scolding, no words can come out of my mouth to this person who is surrendered like that. She said, just because of that gesture that she said, I said, I went there and I hugged her. And now, a decade or two later, when I'm reading this particular verse, I'm always thinking about that, she had surrendered. And because she had surrendered, the mom could not do anything. Just that act of surrender won the heart of the mother. And Krishna is looking for that surrender. And like, how badly is he looking for it? Like, sometimes people say, oh yeah, I want to go there. I just once, if I can get it only once, or only for a day, if I can become president of United States, like that, right? So only once. That's how badly Krishna wants it. He's saying, only once you do it. Only once you surrender, then I will give you the courage to handle everything, right? So always think of that when you're surrendering to Krishna, think like you are like that child and, won over the heart just by doing the surrender like that. Because we try to do things on our own and we mess it up. That's a different story for another day. But
Mataji, when we are talking about total surrender, then the mood should be like that line that I am all yours, you do whatever you want to do, or you.
Yes, yeah, you do whatever you want to do, and then and so where does the problem come? The problem only comes when there are difficult situations, right? That's the only problem with surrendering, right? What's the problem with surrendering to the Lord if everything nice is happening to me? I'm very happy. I'm surrendered to the Lord. He's taking care of everything. But when the slap comes from Maya, that's when it's like, I don't think there's a God. I don't think he's behaving properly with me. I don't think I deserve this. And I did this and I did that. And why is Krishna not listening to me? And why is there delay over there? And things like that. We get into that particular mode of thinking. So the real test comes when we are in a difficult situation. The real test, and it will require practice again and again to say that whatever is happening here, and yesterday, Shikha Prabhu had asked in the lecture on the Wednesday evening class, he had asked that, how are you handling this permanent lockdown? And people were admiring, and there were some of them who just said that now we have to understand that there is Krishna's plan. That whatever is happening, whatever you're able to do or not able to do because of this lockdown is all part of Krishna's plan. So it will be a constant practice. That's what I'm saying. Practice to us till it becomes second nature to you and it will become a habit. That, okay, so this is, for example, when difficulties come into our lives, right? We immediately start resisting it, right? We immediately get into action. How do we avoid that? But that's the time for us to sit back, and take a look at it to see, okay, this difficulty is coming here. Number one, my karma is being dissolved. So the moment you see your karma is being dissolved, now you're seeing what's in it for me. We're always doing that. What is there in it for me? What is there in it for me? Okay, now I see what's there in it for me. My karma is being dissolved. It's okay to start with that kind of a thought, right? Okay, my karma is being dissolved. So then 90% of the bad feeling will go away because you're getting something good in return for that. Second thing that we should also make it a habit to ask is that, given this particular scenario that I'm going through, what is it that Krishna really wants me to learn from this situation? There's always a learning, materially and spiritually, from anything and everything that you go through in life. Like that. So make it, practice doing that. And after you do practice for a long time, then it will become your nature, habit, your character, your destiny, like that. So
also, like courage and the faith goes hand in hand.
Yes.
So yeah, the more you believe on something, that makes you keep on going.
How will that faith come in the first place?
Interesting. Through companionship in a good company.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking of a child mostly. When they have the faith, they have the courage to learn something. Like I was teaching my child, my daughter, rollerblades, and she was excited to learn, but she also knew that she might fall and get hurt. But she had a faith that someone is around to help her. And
Yeah.
that's how she was able to stand and continue. So when you have surroundings like that, then I think probably
Yeah,
makes you
the
go,
faith will be strengthened, right? Yeah. So she has that faith, and the faith gets strengthened more and more, that once she falls 2 or 3 times, and there was always the mother there to catch her, right? And then the faith gets stronger and stronger, right? So it might not happen to us that every time we fall, that Krishna will quickly catch us up, because again, things are according to his plans. But you might see that happening in the lives of other people, and you might see how other people are reacting to situations in their life, and then you will get affected by them. When you are in association of people and you are going there with the desire that I'm going to imbibe all the good habits that they have, then it'll also start coming to you. Faith also, starts with komal shraddha that can be deviated here and there and very malleable till it becomes very, strong as you progress in devotional service. I mean, look at Prabhupada. He had the faith and the courage both, right? Krishna, avashya rakshibe Krishna. To think that I'm going to. And here's the interesting thing, that the more you think about it, the more it happens. In the material world, it's not necessary that it happens, right? But in the spiritual realm, it will happen. The more you have the faith, the more Krishna will now feel obligated that, oh, this person has got faith, right? That, like you see, men get married and a wife comes, right? If the wife doesn't work, doesn't have a job, if he doesn't have a job, then the man feels obligated to take care of every need of the wife, right? Everything means everything, because does not have a job. She does not earn money. So everything from what she wears to eats to sleeps, to watches, everything has to be provided by the husband, right? On the other hand, if the wife has a job, then what will the husband say? Right? You also spend on the household expenses. You also participate like that. So if we are completely surrendered to Krishna, Krishna is obligated to take care of us like that. But if you say, Krishna, I'm going to do certain things on my own, I don't want to bother you, I'm just doing things on my own, then good luck trying to, survive in this material world like that. Okay, I'm just being cognizant of the time, but this is how it is, questions and talks and discussions about Krishna consciousness are unending, and they give you so much of joy. So Suyash Prabhu, are you in a position to share, or should I share?
Mataji, I can share, but I will have to leave.
Okay, so let me start. Let me share then. That'll be easy, right? It'll be a smooth thing there. Okay, can you give us the reading order one more time, Suyash Prabhu?
Please let me know if I have missed anyone. Okay. Sutapa Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Suyash, Garima Mataji, Nirul Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, Jaya Mataji, Shraddha Mataji. So skip my name, sorry.
Okay. Okay, so who goes in next now, according to this list?
Yeah, Mataji, I can start.
Okay.
Contents of the Gita summarized. Text 1. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Text 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Hare Krishna.
Text 3. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Text 4. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship?
Text 5. Mataji, just scroll it up. Yes. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Text 6. nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Text 7. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Text 8. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Hare Krishna.
Garima?
Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Text 8. O descendant of Bharata, at the time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna.
Text 11. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Never was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Jayamata, you can go ahead. Kathy's not here.
Oh, okay. So, text 13. As the embodied soul continuously passes in the body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such change. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
We are missing Deepal Mataji today. I hope she's okay. Text 15. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Text 16. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both.
नहीं बेटा वीडियो नहीं देखो.
17. Text 17. That which pervades the entire body, you should know, to the soul indestructible. No one is able to destroy the imperishable soul. Text 18. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Text 19. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge, for the self slays not nor is slain. Text 20. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Varshana.
Verse 21. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Text 22. As a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and the useless ones. Hare Krishna.
Text 23. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Text 24. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Hare Krishna.
Text 25. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Text 26. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed.
Text 27. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation? Hare Krishna. Mother, you can continue.
Text 29. Some look on the soul as amazing, some described him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while other, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain, therefore you need not grieve for any living being.
Text 31. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets.
Text 33. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Text 34. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Hare Krishna.
Text 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Text 36. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and immutable. Mataji, the text is distorted. Yeah. Words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
Hare Krishna, text 37. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Text 38. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. And by so doing, you shall never incur sin. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's go to the verse for today. (27). Whose turn is it?
It's my turn, Mataji, but okay, now I see it. I didn't see it earlier.
Okay.
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad aparihaya haraya haraye arthe natvam sochitam arhasi.
Very nice. Okay. Synonyms.
Jatasya, of one who has taken his birth, he certainly dhruva, mrityuha, death. Dhruvam, it is also a fact. Janma, birth. Mritasya, of the dead. Cha, also. Tasmat, therefore. Apihare, of that which is unavoidable. Arthe, in the matter. Na, do not. Tvam, you. Shochitam, to lament. Arhasi, deserve.
So one thing I wanted to point out is that when we are going through these words, and sometimes we find this apostrophe here, right? As you can see in this word. So it usually stands for the letter A. as you can see in the synonyms, it is arthe, in the matter, right? So, which is unavoidable in the matter, what we are discussing right now. So when it comes to pronouncing it, the A is silent and is not to be pronounced, and that's why they have put this apostrophe there. So when we come across the pronunciation of these words, we should just, stop, think a little bit about it and how we're going to do it. Usually what happens is that because of the character that is silent, your pronunciation will go up until the second letter in that word, right? It'll go up until beyond the apostrophe. So you will try to speak this together. Now, as part of pronouncing this particular word, if you have broken that word into 3 pieces, that's fine, right? For example, I can say apari and I can say harye, right? I can break it into 2 pieces depending on the meter of the verse. So, but whatever, suppose we have even broken it down into 2 pieces. So the second part will go ahead all the way and will also pick up the character from the second word, like the R after the apostrophe. So it will be har yer, right? Har yer. So just when you come across these things, just look at it. Tasmat apari har yer the. Tasmat apariharyerthe. Tasmat apariharyerthe. Natam shochitum arhasi. Like that, okay? All right, let's go to the translation. Who's going to give us the translation?
I'll speak. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Okay. Please continue, Mataji.
Yeah.
One has to take birth according to one's activities of life, and after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through one cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter, and war, but at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factor in human society for keeping law and order.
The Battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event, and to fight for the right cause is the duty of a Kshatriya. Why should he be afraid of or aggrieved at the death of his relatives, since he was discharging his proper duty? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts, of which he was so afraid. By avoiding the discharge of his proper duty, he would not be able to stop the death of his relatives, and he would be degraded due to his selection of the wrong path of action. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Okay, so we'll stop here and take reflections.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Even 26th also said the same thing, no, Mataji, that once you, you leave the body, why are you lamenting? The person, suppose the soul also dies with the body, even then there is no reason for you to lament, he said yesterday, and in the previous verse. And you see, in the explanation we did that because the body has to take birth again. So that is the reason that we don't need to lament, right, Mataji? So this here also is saying the same thing.
He's also saying the same thing. He's repeating it, but he's repeating it from different perspectives, right? So let's go and look at that while we are here. Let's look at the translations of these verses. And so what you were pointing out is that today we are saying that in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament, right? So he's saying, Arjuna, don't lament, because Arjuna was lamenting big time, right? How can I do this? And it's better, and they are going to die, and the trees are going to fall down, and the Shad ceremony is going to stop, and community projects are going to stop, and this is going to happen, that going to happen, and my hands will be tainted with blood. All that lamentation is going on, right? So he's saying that in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, do not lament, right? Now go back to text number 26. Is he talking about lamentation there?
Yes, Mataji.
right?
Yes.
You still have no reason to lament, right? He's saying. Now, if you go back one more verse for text number 25, again, he's saying about talking about lamentation. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So it's continuing on. He's just telling, but he's telling him to stop his lamentation. And the arguments that Krishna is giving are from different perspectives, right? So one way he's saying that, the soul is invisible, immutable, cannot be cut, cannot be, all that he has told him. So because nothing can happen to the soul, so don't lament. Then in the text number 26, he was giving the atheistic view, where he was saying that, if you think that, okay, soul also dies, I have told you that soul that never dies. But if you think that it dies, then what is the reason for you to lament? Because now again, he's coming back here, right? He's again, in today's chapter, he's saying that if somebody has taken a birth, he's sure to die. So now he's asking him to stop the lamentation from the perspective of, hey, you know what? It is outside your circle of influence. It is something that you cannot control. So if you cannot control that, then why are you lamenting about that? Like that. Yeah. So good point, Varshana Mataji, bringing that thing up there.
Also, Mataji,
one point.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
go ahead.
Go ahead. It's okay.
Mataji, I would like to share that point that one has to take birth and then death again. But we don't know what kind of body we will get in the next life.
Yes.
Not in the human body also. So
yes.
That is some kind of means fear also, again it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's a good fear to have, right? It's a good fear to have, that you don't know what to do with the body, what kind of a body you're going to get in the next life. So better first ask, look at the body and see, oh, I got a human body. Now, what is a human body supposed to do? Eat, meet, sleep, and defend. That's something which even the animals do, right? Right or right?
Yes, Mataji.
So what is a human being supposed to do? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Right? You have to, this with the body, now that you got a human body, Athato, therefore, it is your duty to do Brahma Jigyasa, to inquire about the Lord, right? And let me bring up a very nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It supports this very beautifully. And this is from the teachings of Shraddha-devi to his sons. And Shraddha-devi is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's there. And so his very first teaching, that he gives in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, so Shraddha-devi is telling something to his sons. And let's see what is he telling them. And whose turn is it to read?
Priyanka Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, mine.
All righty, here you go.
Oh no, it's not. Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
No, it's okay, Mataji. Go ahead.
It's okay, you go ahead.
Is it you don't want to read this, or just giving
No,
me?
It's not that. Okay, let's try.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shava uvacha nayam deho dehvajam nirloke kastam kaman arhate vidbhujam ya tapo divyam putraka yana shadvam shudhayad yashmad brahma shukhyam ta anantam.
Okay, good. Let's look at the synonyms now.
Thank you, Priyanka Mataji, for giving me the chance.
Mataji, it was your turn. Rishabhuvacha. Lord Rishabdev said, no, not. I am this. Deha body, Deha bhajam, of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Nriloke, in this world. Kashtan, troublesome. Kaman, sense gratification. Arhate, deserves. With bhujam, of stool eaters, ye which. Tapa, austerities and penances. Divyam, divine. putraka, my dear sons, yena, by which sattvam, the heart, shuddhayet, becomes purified, yasmat, from which brahma sukhyam, spiritual happiness, tu, certainly, anantam, unending.
Varshana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Lord Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has avoided this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of the devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains the position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Hare Krishna.
So what do you think? Is it worthwhile?
Nice instruction.
Yeah. Is it worthwhile?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mataji, in that verse,
We
Krishna
have
is
to
also
caution.
saying,
Yeah. Continue, Priyanka.
Krishna is also saying the unavoidable discharge of your duty. That means that we have to, like, we are eating, we have to eat, and
Yes.
in doing even that essential task, we don't know how many people, how many jivas we are killing. So
Yes.
so I like that point, like how Krishna is very subtly pointing to that, there are so many other places also where you're doing it, and
yes,
so why to lament?
Yeah. So like, don't, like Shashika was saying, that don't say that I'm a vegetarian. I'm a prasadatarian. I eat prasad, whatever is offered to Krishna, right? And in that, some animals can be there, right? Insects and all, bacteria. Yeah. So it is unavoidable. So that is unavoidable. And then also, death is also unavoidable. Like they say, death and taxes are sure, right? Yesterday was the last day to file taxes in USA. So that's fresh in my mind. But yeah, so death and taxes. So isn't it amazing that we talk about capital punishment, death by electrical chair, death by hanging. Oh, you know what? That person, he murdered and then he was sentenced to die. Oh, how cruel. They're going to kill him. He's going to die, right? He's going to die like that. And so he was sentenced to die. Oh, he got a punishment to die and things like that. But the reality is that the moment we are born, with our birth, we are all born with this sentence that you will die. All of us have got that sentence. All of us have got that punishment, so to speak. So Krishna is saying that everything that is born is going to die. And yet, yeah, go ahead.
It just, through when we are reading these verses, one thing came to my mind is that when in our place, when somebody dies, we used to say that unka dehant ho gaya. So that word dehant is like, it kind of summarizes what Krishna is saying, that deh ka ant hua hai, like, but it's not, that soul doesn't die. So I was like, I just really appreciated the word and kind of understood the meaning now after so many years. Yeah.
Yes, Shastra Chakshu, right? You see now, start seeing things through the eyes of the Shastras. And about the Deha and the Ant and the Dehant, we read a verse in second chapter. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yovanam chara tatha dehantara. praptir, dehantara, that you reach the point when that deha has to die, has to finish. Your game is up, get up. Now let's pack up and move on to some other place. Like that. So tatha dehantara praptis, dhiras tatra na muhyati. So now those who are dhiras, sober people, they do not get bewildered by seeing this particular change. Right? It's bound to happen. So that's what Krishna is also telling Arjuna, that you know what? Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, they have already been born with this death sentence. They will die. Whether you like it or not like it, whether you love them or you don't love them, you know, these are this is something which is very, very fixed, right? So, like for example, going back to the verse where I mentioned dehino smin yata dehe, the dehino asmin, right? So yata so this soul is situated in a body, right? Now, so when you are born, there are certain things which are fixed. One thing which is fixed is the type of body, the species into which the soul has been placed, right? It's not that I was born as a dog and after some time I can become a cat. And then after some time I become a man, like that, right? Doesn't happen. Once you are in a particular body, you have to, you know, suffer or enjoy from that body. So that is also very fixed. Your biological parents are fixed. Who your real mother is, who your real father is, it is fixed. It cannot be changed, like that. And then also,
Mataji, nowadays, like how all I don't know, impossibles are, people are just getting crazy. So how these, you know, how people change genders and all that stuff. So that is still like
still the same
it's just the
species.
body is changing, right?
Yeah, it's still the body,
Like,
and they're still in the same species, right? I mean, science has yet to
right. No,
work.
but still, like you know how the man is given it's a higher birth than a woman, which we understand from Shastra. So, but these people attempting to do that unnaturally, they're not gonna become man by doing that.
Yes,
Right?
and you know that their purposes of trying to become man are very, very different, very different, right? It's not that they are trying to become a man because they know that the superiority and devotional service is there, and because of that, right? That superiority actually comes from the consciousness of the soul, right? The kind of thoughts that the soul has been thinking. So because of that, and because of that consciousness, you know, they get that type of a body, right? And sometimes in some of these cases, the consciousness is mixed. You know, there's some confusion there about maybe I'm in the wrong body, and then they try to rectify it like that. But Krishna consciousness says that don't spend too much time over there, time, effort, energy over there. It doesn't matter man body or a woman body. You are a soul. Don't even think about that, and your focus should be, you know, that's what he's saying, that why are you trying to fix the body? For eating, meeting, sleeping, and defending, even the stool eaters can get that type of pleasure. The stool eaters get that pleasure without having to do anything. Here, if a man wants a woman, he has to work hard, he has to earn money. Then only the woman will marry, the lady will marry him, right? But in the other animal species, you get a wife also. You might get 6 wives, like that. Look at the pigs, right? They elephants, they have so many wives. They get that enjoyment without having to do anything. And here, after getting this body where you have to work so hard to get that enjoyment, there must be some message that why have I made it so difficult for you to enjoy the opposite sex? Because it is entangling. Try not to do that in the very first place, right? So when you have got this human body, you think about it. Why did I get this human body? What is the real purpose? Why am I so different from all the animals? I'm the one who walks on 2 legs, right? There are very few animals that do that, like that. So ask that question. That question has to be asked. And that's why Rishabh-dev was actually, he gives his teachings to his 100 sons. And his 100 sons were all very exalted. He was not teaching them. His first son was Maharaj Bharat, right? So we're not talking about, he's not educating the foolish. He's not telling them. He's actually educating them to set an example of how a father is supposed to teach his children. And the essence is that father is supposed to emphasize the need for a spiritual life and the need to look at things from a spiritual perspective, and which Krishna is doing now. in the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita, right? He's brought in the concept of soul. Because Arjuna didn't talk about the soul at all. Maybe in a passing like that. But, when he said they will reach heavenly planets, only once. All the time he was talking about material, but Krishna is now emphasizing, see, this is a teacher. That's why we say Krishna is the Jagat Guru, right? He's the teacher. He teaches you, yeah. So, yeah. So there's more actually to this verse, and we'll try to cover them on Friday. I know Friday is a very short class, might not be able to go more, but then Sunday we have a slightly longer class, and so we'll come and do that, right? So now, for the rest of the day, we will think about, so what was it that we were going to do for the rest of the day today?
Nothing is difficult.
Substitute.
Nothing is difficult. That is what Vaishnav is saying.
Catch your attention every now and then.
Yes, catch your attention. Catch yourself every now and then.
You change your focus, life will change.
Yes, change your focus. Change your life. Yes, change your focus. Right? Because where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing your attention on Krishna, then all your energy will also go there into doing things for Krishna. Like that.
Mataji, can you repeat one more time the last sentence?
Where attention goes, energy flows. It's Vaisheshika Prabhu's famous power phrase, so to speak. Yeah. I'm just copying my spiritual master. Yeah. So thank you so much. Those of you who have joined us on Facebook. Vidyavati Dasi Mataji, thank you for sharing your reflection. Dhani Hill Mataji as well. I can see you here on the Facebook. And those of you who have joined us here on Zoom also, thank you so much for joining us.